What makes a punishment truly fair? Is justice just about getting even, or is it about making the victim whole? Today, we're unpacking a 3,000-year-old blueprint for a radically just society. Let's dive into the ancient rules of restitution. We aren't just reading a dusty, outdated list of rules. We are unpacking a fascinating, highly practical blueprint for justice and community. The big question at the heart of this chapter is simple. What actually makes a punishment fair? Is justice just about getting even, or is it something else entirely? Here, we are moving far beyond the idea of mere punishment. We are uncovering the core principles of making the victim completely whole and defining what it truly means to be a good neighbor. And it all starts with the ancient equivalent of grand theft auto. Property laws in this society are built on one central, uncompromising idea: restitution. It's all about restoring exactly what was lost, plus a heavy penalty. For example, if a thief steals an ox and kills or sells it, they must pay back 5 oxen. Why so harsh? Because an ox was the ancient equivalent of a modern tractor. Stealing it literally crippled a family's ability to survive. If the animal is recovered alive, the penalty drops to double its value. The victim is made whole. But what about everyday accidents? Justice isn't just about punishing big, malicious crimes. It's also about managing the everyday carelessness of living side by side. If your fire gets out of control and burns down a neighbor's field, or if your ox wanders over and eats their grapes, you are legally required to pay them back from the very best of your own harvest. The message here is crystal clear. Your daily actions have real-world consequences, and you are financially on the hook for them. But what happens when the blame isn't quite so obvious? When disputes get complicated, the law provides a brilliant court system. If 2 neighbors claim to own the same donkey, they don't fight it out in the street. They go before judges, and the guilty party pays double, a highly effective way to discourage false claims. And what if you borrow an animal and it dies while you are alone? You are 100% liable. But if the owner is standing right there when it happens, you owe nothing, because the owner accepted the shared risk. Now, the law takes a sudden, deeply moral turn. We shift abruptly from property damage to the true moral heart of the society, protecting people on the margins who have absolutely no social power. The law demands radical empathy for immigrants, explicitly grounded in Israel's own painful memory of slavery in Egypt. It essentially says, treat others the way you desperately wish you had been treated. Furthermore, widows and orphans are incredibly vulnerable. The law states that if anyone dares to exploit them, God himself will act as their lethal defender. Protecting the weak isn't a suggestion, it is a divine mandate. This radical empathy extends directly to the economy. You are strictly forbidden from charging interest on a loan to a community member in trouble. The goal is to help them survive, not to ruthlessly profit from their hardship. If you take a poor man's cloak as collateral for that loan, you must return it to him by sunset. A person's basic warmth and survival are considered infinitely more important than your financial guarantee. But a society built on compassion also needs absolute boundaries. The final rules in this chapter are designed to forge a unique, uncompromising cultural and religious identity, setting them completely apart from the surrounding nations. The penalties for crossing these lines are terrifyingly severe. Acts like sacrificing to other gods or practicing sorcery aren't just viewed as personal sins. They are treated as direct, existential threats to the entire social and religious fabric of the newborn nation, enforced with the harshest possible death penalties. They are drawing a massive line in the sand. But identity isn't just about what you don't do. A positive identity is built through tangible, daily action. Giving the first and very best of the harvest isn't just an ancient tax. It is a physical acknowledgement of exactly where their prosperity comes from. Even small, daily acts of self-discipline, like their strict dietary laws, constantly reinforce their unique, set-apart identity. They are building a society entirely from scratch, and every single rule, from property rights to caring for the poor, is a deliberate building block. So, how does this ancient legal code reflect on us today? All right, we've explored a fascinating blueprint built on restoring the victim, protecting the vulnerable, and forging an unshakable community identity. Now, before you go, let me leave you with 2 questions to sit with. First, if justice is truly about making the victim whole, where does our modern system fall short, and how can we do better? Second, this ancient code fiercely protected the foreigner and the poor. Who are the vulnerable people in your community that need defending today? Take a moment, breathe, and let them sink in.